What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Ghouls Gaming and Tech channel. Sorry for the tight shirt. I'm about to go to a kickball game, so you're gonna have to excuse me for a bit. But the Apple event was today, where they announced some pretty interesting products, some changes that we expected, some that we didn't. So we're gonna review a couple of those things in this video. Let's get to it. Alright, you guys, so before we get into all of that, make sure if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's definitely appreciated. And if you're new or returning, hit that like button. I appreciate that as well. So right now, unfortunately, I was at work during the event, so I caught glimpses of it. For the main part, I saw the most important things: the new Apple Watch, which is called the Watch Ultra, I believe, and the new iPhone 14 lineup. You have the iPhone 14, the iPhone 14 Plus, I believe, the iPhone 14 Pro, and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And you also have the new redesigned AirPods Pro. So right now we are on Apple's website. This segment of the video is particularly in reference to the iPhone 14. It says a magical new way to interact with iPhone. Groundbreaking. It's always these big buzzwords, you know, when it's an Apple event or any other tech event or any other phone. But they do have the 48 megapixel camera, which we all know is an upgrade from Apple's traditional cameras, because for some reason they refuse to go higher. But now we're seeing that 48 megapixel camera, and it says for mind-blowing details. So that part of the information is definitely very true, because Apple's been kind of stuck with a certain megapixel for years. So as we continue to scroll on the Apple website, Pro Beyond, the iPhone 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max. You can pre-order, just so you guys know, you can pre-order these devices starting this Friday on September 9th at 5 a.m. and you have your different prices. But what I do love about Apple is that they offer these prices, they offer these devices, but they're not $1,800 like Samsung with the Fold. I get it, it's so innovative, you like it, you want people to be like, you know what, we're only making this one product, there's not gonna be different models. This price is gonna be $1,800 regardless, so you better pay it. No, Apple's like, hey, the base price for this phone will be $999, at least as far as the Pro is concerned, and then you can go from there. But so, quick details, they have a new deep purple color for the actual iPhone. So that's probably gonna be the one I ordered, which is gonna be this deep purple color. It's a new kind of look and just a new, I guess, a good change up from the typical colors you see from Apple. I mean, you see the silver and the space black on here, but I'm kind of gonna stay away from those because I want my phone to stand out. And it says designed for durability with ceramic shield tougher than any smartphone glass, water resistant, surgical grade, stainless steel 6.1 and a 6.7 display size, and obviously that's the Pro Max. So this is the big thing. Meet the new face of iPhone. So everyone knew iPhone had this thing with the notch. The notch. It's been going on for years. We were wondering, when is Apple gonna get rid of the notch? Not only did Apple say they're not gonna get rid of that big bezel part of the phone, they're embracing it. They're gonna put it smack dab in the middle of the phone. Does it look any better? It just pretty much comes down to preference. The notch and this little pill design, which they're calling it the dynamic island, it pretty much is the same thing. That's where your Face ID and all that, those other components are gonna be in. It's pretty much the same kind of thing, but it's just now you have a little space between that actual component and the rest of the phone, so you get a slither of display above that floating notch is what I'll call it, floating notch. But it says meet the new face of iPhone, so they really emphasize this. So the phone, as you can see, it has this little pill design, and as you get notifications, you unlock your phone, it'll show that phone's unlocked, you're playing music, you get notifications, airdropping, flight information. I mean, it's going so fast when you connect to your AirPods. You get so much information in this little pill, or the dynamic island. They really did, I think, a good job of, if they're gonna leave this on the phone, you might as well incorporate it, embrace it. So what they did was they had their design team and their animators kind of Incorporate your notifications so this little pill or this dynamic island doesn't stand out as much as it actually does. So they're incorporating and integrating the software and the hardware like they also discussed in their showing, to make them run seamless, so it's less intrusive, I guess, visually for you to look at. But hold the phone! We finally got Apple to finally, well, we didn't get them to, they just came to this conclusion on their own, obviously with the direction and complaints of people and seeing what other competitors are doing, but they finally have an always on display, always at the ready. So this is what your phone will look like when the always on display is on. It'll pretty much dim and mute your background and everything as far as the tone of it, but you'll still see your display settings as far as your time, you know, whatever widgets you have on your lock screen. So it's essentially your lock screen. It's not a separate always on display like Samsung can do, or that Samsung does. I'm sure Apple can do it as well, but it will just dim your lock screen, put it in like a low power mode, I guess, to keep that battery kind of pumping, keep it alive. Another thing I want to touch on, in the Apple event, they did discuss how the Pro models will have a slimmer bezel around the edge. I think the bezel is pretty slim now, but if they slimmed it down even a teensy bit, because it doesn't look like they did that much, but if they slimmed it down just a little bit, it's a win on both sides. A display that is up to 2 times brighter in the sun. In the sun, make sure you read the fine print, in the sun. So for those of you who care, the nitties, they're talking about the nitties, you know, the nits in the actual display. They are way brighter. See why the new Super Retina XDR display is like nothing else. So we're gonna click on that really quick. The Super Retina XDR display now reaches a peak of 2000 nits outdoors, which is twice as bright as before, and the highest peak brightness of any smartphone. So I do have a critique of the iPhone brightness. I did notice my phone, I would be in the daytime sometimes, walking outside, whatever the case is, and it just wasn't as bright as some other phones I've experienced. Up to 1600 nits peak brightness, bringing the iPhone to the same level as the iPhone, bringing the iPhone to the same level as the Pro Display XDR. Okay, sorry, got it. Vital new safety features. So one thing that they did talk about in the Apple event is that now they can detect if you've been in a crash, which is awesome. I mean, obviously crashes happen every day, all day. If this feature allows it to automatically call like first responders or law enforcement, that'll definitely save you some time as far as getting back. So emergency SOS via satellite, that was the whole far out theme, I guess. They were incorporating satellites and integrating them a lot more with certain features on your phone and on your other devices, like even the watch, which we're going to talk about in a completely different video. But they're incorporating the satellites to help you have a little bit more accuracy, a little bit more safety as far as when you're going somewhere, a little bit better direction when you're using the compass. So I really like this integrated feature. So like I said earlier, the Pro camera, sorry. So now it says up to 4 times the resolution for jaw-dropping cropping. I don't know if you guys can tell from this video right now from what I'm scrolling, but the detail in this picture, granted it's on my laptop right now, but if they supposedly shot this from a phone, the detail in this picture is freaking, I mean, this is really good. I can see all the grainies, 48 megapixels. This is awesome. iPhone 14 Pro raises the bar for what 48 megapixels can do, delivering at 4 times the resolution and Pro RAW for mind-blowing detail in every crop. I really like this. 65% larger sensor. So these pictures look pretty clear, and it shows you the different types of pictures you can take, how close you can get. I mean, granted, these are probably super edited and like cropped pictures to give you the best image, but you know, pure shooting on your phone should be pretty good at this point. All right, keep going. Much more detail and much less light. I do like this because taking very detailed pictures in low light settings is kind of tough, and that's across the board for any phone. So it seems like over the years this is something they've been focusing on to kind of fine tune those lower light pictures to give you the best quality. 24 breathtaking frames per second. Cinematic mode now shoots 4K HDR with 24 frames per second. The film industry standard. Have your people call our people. I really like this. I use cinematic mode all the time, and I really want that movie quality, almost like picture and video. And the fact that they offer this 24 frames per second option with 4K HDR, it's gonna make these videos even better. Shaky action shot, fix it in pre. So this is very good because this action shot, you know, your phone shakes a lot, but with their stabilizing sensors and everything in a camera module, it makes it very good for you to kind of take out some of that shakiness pre-edits. Obviously you can edit it after, but it makes it nice. Obviously with every iPhone that comes out, they have a new Bionic chip. So now we have the A16 Bionic chip, the ultimate smartphone chip. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be lightning fast like the other ones. It's gonna be faster, but eventually after a while you see it you don't really notice the difference in speed. So long to the SIM tray, no more of that. eSIM makes things simple. You can activate your new iPhone and add carriers digitally, so calling and texting in no time. I like this. Let me know what you're gonna order. I'm gonna be ordering the iPhone 14 Pro Max in this purple color. I'm kind of split between the purple and gold because I never got a chance to rock the gold, but I think this purple is gonna be kind of unique, and I don't think too many people are gonna get that because I don't think most people like to, you know, be that flashy, but I do, I don't mind. But let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna do another video with the AirPods and the new Apple Watch. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. I appreciate you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.